long, and I think in the process, when it's finished, you might find yourselves quite hungry. Actually, my sister 15 years ago used to work nearby at Osaka. So after you finish watching the film, if you're hungry, just go over there and enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Inuma. And now, Ms. Tokiwa Takako, the lead actress of the film. Can we have a word, please?
はい。本日は20世紀少年の試写に来ていただきましてありがとうございます。常盤貴子です。
My name is Tokiwa. Thank you very much for all coming today to see 20th Century Boys. Thank you.
ここにもTシャツを着てくださっている方々が何人かいらっしゃるんですけれども、その T シャツを着ていらっしゃる方々は皆さん原作を読んでいらっしゃる方なんでしょうか。もし読んでる方いらっしゃったら手を挙げて。してないけどね。
I have a question. A lot of people are actually wearing T-shirts today, and I'm just wondering, have you read the original story or the manga? Maybe you can raise your hands if you have read it, and some of them maybe.
そうなんだ。そうです。戸惑ってるのは何？
You're hesitating a little bit.
読んでないけど買っちゃったってことかしら。ノリ？
You haven't read it yet?
ね、でもアメリカではまだ4巻とか6巻とかそのくらいまでしか出てないって聞いたんです。
I hear actually that the manga, the English version, has only been published up to around volume 4 or 5.
何巻まであるかご存知ですか？
Does anyone know the exact number?
日本で。
Do you know how many there are in total in the original story in Japanese?
24.
22巻プラス2巻最後は21世紀少年になります。
Actually, there's 22 volumes in the original story in Japan, and then there's 2 more volumes which are titled 21st Century Boys. So a total of 24.
最後気になりませんか？
Aren't you sort of concerned about what happens at the end of this? I really recommend that you, first of all, read the manga.
すごく気になります、最後が。
You'll really be concerned about the end.
浦沢直樹さんの原作を読んだことのある方は皆さんわかると思うんですけど、多分僕はプレスの方々使えないと思うんですけど、最後絶対みんなこけると思うんですね。終わりってなるんですよ。
I think people have read a lot of the original work, of course, is created by Naoki Urasawa, the very famous manga artist. And if you've read a lot of his works, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And this is probably nothing with depressing you here, but in the end of his story, is often everybody just goes, and you wonder what's going on. They all fall down dead.
なんですけれども、今回の20世紀少年の映画ではその浦沢直樹さん、原作者の浦沢直樹さんが脚本を携わっているんですね。なので原作で描かなかったのかわからないんですけど、21世紀少年の上下巻プラス最後がまたあるんです、さらに。だからそれは世界中がきっと待ち望んでいるその最後の10分間ですよね。それを楽しみに一生見てしまった皆さんも運命だと思うので、23世の自信を持ってご覧になってください。
One of the hallmarks of this particular movie of 20th Century Boys is that actually the manga artist Mr. Urasawa, who created the original story, is also creating the script for the film, and he's able to create a different ending to the story. So even those of you if you've read the 21st Century Boys, the first and second volume in that part, you'll be surprised because he's preparing a different volume that I think everyone around the world, all Urasawa fans, are really anxiously hoping to see how he ends it.
How do you like San Francisco?
前に友達とシアトルからサンフランシスコまで車でドライブで女2人旅をしたことがあったんですけども、その時は全然たどり着けなくて、何回行ってもサクラメントばっかり行ってしまって、ここまでたどり着けなかったから、私はサンフランシスコに 呼ばれてないんだなってずっと思ってたんですけど、今回はスムーズに無事着陸してついてよかったです。
I actually, in the past, I had the occasion to come from Seattle. I intended to come from Seattle all the way to San Francisco with a friend of mine who was also one of the women, so it was basically two females driving all the way. And we intended to make it to San Francisco, but we wound up, for some reason, winding up in Sacramento, and we never could make it here. So I thought maybe that was my destiny, not making it to San Francisco. But today I made it safely. I'm grateful.
I noticed that you are wearing a very beautiful kimono. Do you wear kimonos often?
はい、着物大好きで自分でも着てますし、特にアンティークの着物が好きでいます。今日はでもアンティークじゃなくて、シルクプリントをすると、アンティークの有効です。
I love wearing kimonos, and I often wear them on my own in my private life, and I particularly like antique kimonos. Today what I have is actually not an antique kimono, but it's a silk print kimono in antique style, and it's been accessorized with antique accessories, so you might call it a fusion of the old and new. The ogi. So this part here is antique, and this is antique lace. And these are handmade here. So it's a variety of things put together.
Now I guess a few questions about the film. Why do you think the title 20th Century Boys is so popular?
浦沢直樹さんのストーリーの面白さ、ストーリー展開の面白さだと思います。本当に一度読み始めてしまったら、いいのか悪いのかわからないんですけど、さっきも言ったように、目の下にクマができるくらい寝ずに読みたくなる、そのストーリー展開の面白さだと思います。
I really think it relates to Mr. Urasawa's storytelling abilities. And I don't know, really a good thing or bad thing, but as I mentioned earlier, outside you start reading these stories and you'll start getting lines under your eyes, and you might give up your sleep. So it's just so interesting. It's hard to stop reading.
So one question I know about is was there anything difficult about playing one character spanning over 20 years in the trilogy?
Now, 今私こんな格好してるんですけど、本編と何も関係ありません。
First of all, I should say that I'm dressed like this today, but it has absolutely no relation to the way I act in the movie or dress.
まずそれを言っておきたくて。で、
I wanted to clarify at the beginning.
私が普通の状態で出ていられるのは一章だけなんです。
There is a trilogy, and it's only in the first movie that I actually appear in a normal concept.
で、2章、3章はすべて老けメイクです。
In chapter 2 and chapter 3, all the makeup done on me is to make me look older.
どんどん広くなります。
So I start looking worse and worse and worse.
だから一章をぜひ覚えておいてください。
So don't forget the way I look in chapter 1.
For the American audience?
まだ原作の方が4巻ぐらいまでしか出ていないということなんですけれども、これから浦沢先生にも頑張っていただいて、英語のバージョンの漫画をたくさん書いていただけるようにしますので、というか私がする権力はないんですけど。はい、プロデューサーの方が言ってくださるということなので、皆さんからもその熱いエネルギーを送ってくだされば、きっと浦沢先生にも届くと思いますので、ぜひそれを読んでいただいて、2章3章もどんどん楽しみにしていただきたいと思います。
I understand some of you have only read up to volume 4 of the original story, so we're going to go back and we're going to encourage Mr. Naoki Urasawa to draw more manga that can be created, released in English, and I hope that you will read not only the parts of the original volumes, but the volumes that cover chapter 2 and chapter 3 in the trilogy, and I'll encourage you to read more and more of his work, and we'll call him when we call him and tell him to get to work. Put pressure on him. I think he will be very impressed with your enthusiasm.
Great. So thank you very much. Can we give another big round of applause?